Welcome, everybody. Today we'll be covering the 12 social media rules for e-learning professionals. But before we go into the rules, let's look at social media's connection to e-learning. A social networking platform allows network members to enhance learning amongst other members by sharing on the network. Platforms such as Facebook and Twitter are used to deliver short learning interventions. YouTube provides easy access to tutorials and how-to videos. LinkedIn also allows discussion and idea generation. We also have Google+, Instagram, and Pinterest in the list of the biggest social media platforms today, and would also need them online reputation. Lacking online presence can hinder your professional success as much as not following the proper social media etiquette. A question to put out there: if posting, tweeting, and responding to comments is just the start of building your online presence, how does one ensure that their online presence is functioning at its full potential? There's a number of actions to take to determine this, and by learning the 12 social media rules for building your online presence as an e-learning professional, your posts will help ensure your learning identity is successfully reflected by your online presence. So our learning aim is knowing the basic social media rules for e-learning professionals. Our learning outcomes: by the end of this session, you'll be able to explain the 12 social media rules for e-learning professionals, evaluate whether a post, tweet, or comment fits within the guidelines of the 12 social media rules for e-learning professionals, and you'll also be able to justify the supporting actions to take for a post, tweet, or comment to be within the guidelines of the 12 social media rules for e-learning professionals. So let's start with the 12 social media rules for e-learning professionals. Number 1, properly introduce yourself. A good start is half the battle won when it comes to being successful. What is a good start? Presenting finished profiles. Unfinished profiles may give the impression that you don't have enough vision, discipline, or resources to finish what you started. What do you need to properly introduce yourself in your profile? Profile alignment. Does your profile align with your professional image? To make it align, include an appropriate profile picture, logos, and comment branding which accurately reflect your image. Ensure all the social media profiles you use are consistent, related to each other, and completed. Link to any and all sites that may be useful to your followers. Have a section that gives your profile viewers detailed information about who you are. If applicable, have a background that is more related to your brand. Last but not least, remember to link to the social media profile mentioned on your website or within your e-learning course, so people can contact you via those avenues. This is what and how you will present yourself to your audience, clients, and potential partners. You're more likely to have profile viewers to actually follow you when your self-introduction is clear and strong. Number 2, check for language, grammar, and spelling mistakes. Some would ask, why should you? Well, once a language, grammar, or spelling mistake is seen online, it cannot be unseen. To avoid posting this type of mistake, proofread every post, tweet, or comment before you actually post it. Some tips to avoid embarrassment, or let's say not get caught red-faced. Draft in a Word document. Typing up your post in a Word document before posting allows autocorrect to quickly check for and locate any language, grammar, and spelling mistakes. Use your own language and the language of social media. 1 or 2 hashtags are okay on Twitter and Instagram, but 10 hashtags in a row will be too much for your audience. So let's look at this slide. Caution: don't spam the universe with hashtag heavy messages. Though, as Gray warns, one person's humorous meta commentary is another person's hashtag pollution. Consider these delightful messages which turned up when I searched to see what people were doing with the hashtag, not hashtag everything, hashtag needs, hashtags hashtags, hashtag remember, hashtag that, hashtag. Okay, so let's move on to number 3, being original. Authenticity is needed for your online presence to be relevant on social media. The posts that remain and stand out in people's memories are the original, creative, and engaging ones. What about reposting and retweeting? Avoid it if you're not presenting the topic from a different perspective, looking from a new point of view, or using unique talent and expertise to approach a new topic will enable you to create a thriving social media presence that will endure for a long time. Provide your account followers with up-to-date information in a creative way to spark an online discussion. Interact with your followers by asking them a question or starting an active discussion. Ask their opinions about any issue, but be aware that discussions on very controversial topics can get out of hand very quickly. Asking for their opinions or for their feedback not only shows that you value what they think or how they feel, but it also allows them to directly interact with you and can give them a possibility to influence what you teach in the future. You might consider an upcoming trend or an untouched topic. You might discover an upcoming trend or an untouched topic. So, which adult learning principles at work? The next few points will sound like I'm contradicting myself, but keep an open mind. Remember to keep note of your answer at the end of this presentation. Okay, so number 4. Establish a consistent online presence. E-learning teams vary from company to company. Some may have a member who is exclusively dedicated to promoting their brand through social networks. But what should be done if your e-learning team doesn't have a member? Consider hiring someone to promote your brand through your social networks, or do the promotions yourself. If you're taking the latter option, adopt the following mindset to establish a consistent online presence. Social media management is not a 9-to-5 job. Your social media presence must be frequent and consistent. Staying up to date with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Google+, etc., all of which are incredibly fluid, requires posting, replying, commenting, reposting, and retweeting several times a day, every day, including weekends and holidays. Keep your hands on the wheel. Taking your hands off the wheel will cause your brand awareness to diminish, which will then lead to your account followers disengaging and then forgetting about you. To do so, avoid being number 5, avoid becoming bothersome. To do so, avoid posting just so for the sake of posting. Make sure to post something meaningful whenever you post. How many times did I say post? Anyways, posting just to stay fresh in the minds of people will make you sound like everybody else. What challenges do you have to face? Knowing how often you should post on your social media accounts, knowing if what you have to post is worth the time and attention of your audience. What should you do to really capture the attention of your audience? You could do some research in e-learning blogs. You can scan news sites to find valuable e-learning articles that you may want to share with your followers. Okay, so number 6, share only relevant quality news. So giving valuable information is the best quality that makes your e-learning significant on social media. What makes your account followers really consider you as a dependable, reliable, and worthwhile source of information? You're always building credibility. ABC. You'll build your credibility by sharing quality news, e-learning articles, different perspectives, breaking industry news or trends that your audience may find interesting, and links to sites they may find helpful. Giving inspirational advice they can use in their everyday lives will make you the person people go to for insight into your e-learning niche. While the content you post on your social media pages must be relevant, it must offer real value to your followers and should relate to them on either a personal or professional level. You shouldn't have a message that says you created your account to abuse your followers' trust. You do this by sharing useful content of common interest, exchanging ideas, cultivating a fruitful dialogue. Not constantly pitching about you and your brand, not trying to sell to them. If your message clearly reflects the mentioned items on your post, it will be greatly appreciated by everyone. Number 7, be polite. Do not send automated responses and messages. We're going to talk about politeness here, but first there has to be mention of an unquestionable social media rule in general. Under any circumstances, it is never acceptable for you to post or message personal attacks, insults, ethnic slurs, or obscenity. Never, ever, ever, ever post personal attacks, insults, ethnic slurs, or obscenity. There are things people do on social media that are considered rude. Sending automated responses and messages to say thank you for connecting or following. In order to keep your social media followers engaged, don't send them messages to thank them for following you or accepting a connection request. Explain why you want to connect to personalize your requests. Make a brief but thoughtful comment when you're saying thank you. Always try to respond to all comments and messages as quickly as possible to show consideration and courtesy. Your followers remain engaged because this approach displays you respect your followers and you give real value to your connections. Number 8, respect someone's decision not to accept your invitation. Whatever the reason your connection request isn't accepted, accept their decision and don't insist. Just like it's your right to manage your social network in any way you like, it's their right to accept or decline your request. Never pressure people to follow you. Instead, give them reasons why it's a good choice. Always make sure that your message, posts, tweets, and comments are graceful and politically correct. Number 9, maintain separately personal and professional connections. Some people connected with you because of business reasons. Others connected with you because of personal reasons. Instead of confusing who to display your business profile to and your personal profile to amongst your contacts, separate your contact lists according to their connection to you. It's unnecessary to have your personal connections in the account you have as an e-learning professional. If you're going to keep your friends and family members in both accounts, remember to distance your business profile from them. Do everything you can to avoid the mistake of engaging a group in the wrong manner, i.e., don't land in the middle section named mistake. You can do this by not commenting on your cousin's photo with your e-learning identity, so don't do that. Don't send invites for birthdays and games to your business profile's followers or associates. Define your core audience and focus on them. Number 10, do not violate copyright laws. To make your online material trustworthy and valuable, whether it is an article or a comment, make sure to follow one of the greatest social media rules for e-learning professionals. Never violate copyright laws. Always refer to the source which inspired you. Try to include only authoritative sources to validate your posts and tweets. Cite your audience, clients, employees, and partners if you only have their permission. Following these steps will make your online material reliable. Okay, so number 11, provide evidence for your posts. A quick question. Have you ever liked or followed someone on social media who has posted something that turned out not to be based on facts? There wasn't any justification to believe the post was untrue, but the supporting evidence simply wasn't well researched or even researched at all. As an e-learning professional, it is essential to verify every post you make. You can do so by making these ground rules when providing evidence for posts. Research the evidence before you post. Factual posts must have supporting evidence. Posted statistics will need a link to the article which you found the information. Make sure that it's credible and authoritative site that can validate your post. Right. Number 12. Use every post to reinforce your professional identity. It's the last, but it's not the least. Remember that every one of your posts reflects your brand and your professional identity. We can claim and announce many things about ourselves, but there's the saying, you know a tree by its fruits. So here's some rules to reinforce your professional identity. The first rule is to have your clients and partners in mind. Never post anything you don't want your clients and partners to see. The second rule is to never post when you have the halt symptoms. What are the halt symptoms? You're hungry, you're angry, you're lonely, you're tired. Many relationships, whether business or personal, they tend to fall apart when decisions are made when someone is under these symptoms. Sometimes something is done or said which was unexpected. So avoid posting when you have these symptoms. The third rule is to take responsibility for everything you upload. So now to conclude, you can make the most out of the social media experience available to you by staying focused on promoting your professional e-learning identity, having this social networking e-learning guide with you when you venture onto social media sites, implementing the necessary actions from this guide. Doing so will help you to successfully cultivate your e-learning image. So you now know the basic social media rules for an e-learning professional. If you want a bigger head start in building your professional e-learning identity, you can check the listed resources for your research. For research e-learning blogs, so that's elearningfeeds.com. For e-learning articles, it's elearningindustry.com/e-learning authors. If you're looking to learn how to establish yourself as an e-learning professional in a strictly professional network, you can check the article below to find out how you can successfully promote your e-learning professional identity through your LinkedIn presence. So to do that self-work, you can go through the 10 LinkedIn profile mistakes that an e-learning professional should avoid. So remember, I asked when I was covering the third rule on being original, which adult learning principle is at work? You can send your answer with your feedback to romelrg88@gmail.com. And just to avoid violating any copyright laws, here are some references. Thank you for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon.